Yeah, I had a number of questions. First of all, the public service AI strategy. You've got the framework. When will the strategy be publicly consulted on? And when is its draft or final arriving?
So we're not proposing to put out a strategy. We've got a framework out around AI adoption, and we've got guidance.
So you've got a framework
and guidance.
And there won't be a strategy now.
No, the strategy is to get on and adopt.
Just get on, do some.
Well, maybe that will change on the website.
Yeah.
That was telling me we were waiting for it. Thank you. Secondly, there still seems to be some potential overlap, at least in people's minds, if not in reality, between NZ Verify and RealMe. And can you explain how that is going to be clarified over the next months or years?
So I'm happy to speak to that. I mean, they're two important products, both of which DIA operates. So RealMe is an identity proofing solution, a login and a verified identity solution. The Verify app enables businesses or organisations to then verify someone's digital identity and say, yes, that's right. So the digital driver's licence is the best example. We'll see Australians arriving in New Zealand with a digital driver's licence shortly. The Verify app will enable rental car companies to say, yes, that's a valid digital driver's licence. So,
but it's not only for visitors, is it?
No, for us,
no, it's just an example. So they are two quite different products, and but we'll take feedback about making sure we communicate that clearly out to New Zealanders.
I think one of the issues that people have had with the RealMe is that a lot of people that you want to actually, if you use RealMe, like some of us will, a lot of other people don't use it, particularly the people you're trying to prove, including banks. So it's completely useless when you're trying to deal with government agencies, but that's about it. And so the Verify thing is about taking that legislation that I think we went through in 23 and actually making it work for us.
Okay, couple more questions if I may.
Yeah, next
Thank you.
questions.
Okay. The Digital Trust Hui in August, is that pretty widely open to anyone, or is it only internally focused, or what are the plans for that?
I'm not entirely sure what you're referring to. I'm sorry. So there's a digital trust framework and there's a digital trust authority.
I am referring to moving forward together, April the 29th, 2025, and planning for our landmark event is progressing well, with speakers now confirmed, including Ministers Judith Collins.
Well, I just speak everywhere, as you know.
Yes, so
Okay,
so maybe we'll follow up.
We'll follow up.
Question.
I think, what would you like? Would you like it to be more open to people?
Well, it may be already,
Yeah,
but I'd like
okay.
to.
Like an invitation.
Yes.
You'd like an invitation, all right.
That's
Can we
right.
make that?
Put the request in the
Thank you.
post
Well,
hearing
it says
session.
register your interest here, so I shall,
think
and
you
I shall
can.
see what happens.
Yes.
But the second question I had in my two, if I may,
Yeah.
was that is the Minister looking in this year ahead to consider legislation like you talk about safety and transparency, like the EU AI legislation?
Not at all. We're following very much the principles, OECD principles. I've actually considered the EU legislation as being something of a roadblock to innovation. It's for the EU to deal with, not me. We just don't have very much uptake at all in the public service. And so one of the big problems that we've had is actually dealing with the fact that there was very little capacity and understanding of the use of it and a lot of fear. So we're trying to get that going. We have two, I do the digitising government side. Dr. Shane Reedy does the AI for business, the more application outside. But what we're trying to do is get better uptake using our fact we have the Privacy Act. If there needs to be an amendment to that, we've always been very open. If we need to amend something, change something, we will. But right at the moment, our issue is about getting the uptake in the first place. And I think once we get more uptake would be a time to relook at that. But I think the EU is a bit too far from where we would want to be.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Andy, and then we'll come back to you later, Celia. if
No,
we've
no,
got
that
time.
was
Oh.
fine. I may not agree, but I had it
No,
answered.
but you've had an answer.
I
So
let's-